Joined here by the president of the Port Melbourne Football Club, Peter Bromley. Peter, our first President's Luncheon for 2013. Well attended, considering the unusual fact is that we're hosting it at Frankston.
It is. But given all the development works that are taking place at Port Melbourne, it's been very hard to get a game at home. I'm hoping that next Tuesday we'll be able to make an announcement about when our first game's actually going to get played at Port. It will be great to get back home.
Well, what are the current things holding us up at the moment from the possibility of playing at home?
It's just finishing off the dressing rooms for the players. At the moment, we've actually got two spaces for dressing rooms in the grandstand and the other visitors' rooms. We're hoping that the two rooms in the grandstand will be completed in time for us to get the games. What it'll mean is that both our teams will be in one dressing room and the visitors will be in the other dressing room.
Now, obviously, with a lot of construction work going on, I believe that if we do get home, some areas of the ground that supporters won't be able to access?
Certainly the area around the scoreboard is completely a no-go area. It's got asbestos in there, and each time they scrape it, they seem to be getting more and more asbestos. Some of the asbestos, when they've been scraping, have been relocated over near the time clock. Part of that area is fenced off, and that'll be fenced off until they get the area capped off.
So hopefully back home at round 5, you said more details will be seen on the club's website, pmfc.com.au, when the time comes. But I guess obviously today a big thank you must go to the Frankston Football Club, who are playing host today to our game against Sandringham.
Yes, we're certainly very grateful to the Frankston Football Club, and it's great that two standalone teams can support each other in this way.
Peter, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Senior Assistant Coach Andrew Mirams joins us. And Andrew, how's the health of the Port supporters? A close win, a close loss today, even money draw.
That's not much easier coaching, and I'm sure it's probably not much easier for the players too. You know, we're just making a few bad decisions at the minute, and it's unfortunate. It's costing them. A lot of things we can do better. You know, a lot of it's in our control. So if we can do that better, then I'm sure we can get back where we need to be.
General consensus at the moment seems to be the intensity's up, the intensity's good, it's just the finishing's just not there yet.
Yeah, look, I think there's peaks and troughs, even with our intensity. You know, when the other sides are getting a run on, we're still probably not able to resurrect or stop that and just be able to hold up. And then just some of our finishing work, you know, some undisciplined acts and things like that. You know, all within our control, mate. You know, so we've just got to get back to the drawing board and keep getting better.
Let's talk about some of the young blokes. First of all, Sam Gilmore came into the side today and seemed to give that spark in that last 10 minutes of the first term. We were struggling 5 goals to zip. He came in the middle, 3 quick goals came on the board.
Yeah, look, it's a great opportunity for Sam. Certainly got some talent. Had a bit of an interrupted pre-season, but yeah, he launched up, put his hand on it, and we were able to get those 3 clearances out. So that was good. Look, he'll learn. He'll get better from that. He made a couple of little blues, you know, marking and things like that. But it's not because he's not having a crack. You know, he's a really good young man. And he will appreciate in the cold hard light of day, you know, how quick and how different, you know, senior VFL footy is compared to TAC Cup. So, look, he'll learn and keep getting better as we all have to. So it's good to see young guys coming in and having an impact.
And a bloke coming up from amateur football, coming through the Waverley Blues as well. We're talking about Chris Woodley, seen to perform well today. Charlie Woodley, pardon me, seemed to capture the imagination of some of the supporters, if not for his haircut.
Well, I can't get into hair, mate, so I'll leave that one alone. But look, Charlie's had a really good pre-season. He's very composed with the footy. He doesn't rush. He doesn't, you know, he just seems to make good decisions now in the heat of the battle. He will learn a lot today again. Look, he just keeps making the right choices. So it's a great opportunity. You know, he really has jumped out in the last 5 or 6 weeks since practice matches and then early form. And he's got his opportunity and didn't look out of place at senior level. So, look, that's good. We've got to probably start looking to give a few more young guys the opportunity and just get everything, you know, pair it right back and give some young guys an opportunity. You know, if old guys are going to make mistakes, maybe we're better to have young guys making those mistakes where they can learn and improve.
A couple of changes as well noted. Ryan Gale moving forward. Billy Burston spending time in the back half.
Yeah, well, we just wasn't sure that it was working quite for either of them, and it probably did. Bill was pretty good behind the ball, and Gailey, you know, came up and presented really well at the footy, and you know, crunched a couple of packs and did things like that. So it would have been nice for Gailey to maybe finish a little bit of his work and just get the reward with a couple of goals. But, that's what we have to do sometimes. We're looking for a spark, and Bill was able. I thought Bill was pretty good behind the footy. So, and Gailey, hit up well and did what we needed to do. So, probably worked. We've got to keep throwing things up in the coach when it's not working,
And good news out of the development side today, 7-goal win. Hammond and Whelan, I believe, chipping in for 5 and 4 goals respectively. So that's creating some possible forwards to come into the side.
Oh, absolutely. From a forward perspective, and Gordon, who got dropped, had 30 across half-back. Papaleo was very good across half-back. Tim McMillan was very good across the back line. Encountering our midfield, was very good through there with Tommy O'Sullivan and Matty Smith. So again, all young guys, all knocking on the door saying, hey, we want to play senior footy. So from that perspective, maybe they're going to start getting an opportunity.
And good reports from the injury room, Toby Thulan coming back, and I believe we're probably still a month away for the likes of Valenti and Pinwell coming back into the side.
Yeah, and look, we can't think that Shane and Toby and even Danny Hughes and those guys, just by them coming back in is going to turn it around. We have to turn it around. Only the guys that are out there are the ones that can make the improvements and make and get the Borough back to where we need to be. So, look, they're still a month away. We can't do anything about that. It's good to get a couple of guys through some footy today, and we've just got to keep improving.
Andrew, thanks for your time.
Pleasure.
Borough TV is a Port Melbourne Football Club production.